Okay, students, let us consider the second example given on page number 38. In this example, they have drawn with the help of these readings, they have drawn this graph. The graph goes up, then comes down. So from this is displacement time graph, and from the displacement time graph, I have already told you that we can calculate the velocity by calculating the slope of the graph. So if the graph is of this type, how we can calculate the slope or velocity? So we will split this graph into two parts, OA and AB. OA is a line which is going up, AB is a line which is coming down. So first we will calculate the slope of OA, that will be the velocity when the object moves from O to A. Then we will calculate the slope of AB, that will be the velocity when the object goes from A to B. So let us first calculate the slope of line OA. So as I have already told you how to calculate the slope, we will consider any 2 points on y-axis. So this is a straight line. We can consider any 2 points. They have considered 60 and 0. As the line is going up, the upper readings will be the final readings, lower readings will be the initial readings. So we will subtract final reading minus initial reading, that is 60 minus 0. Now in the numerator, 60 minus 0 will be written. 60 corresponds to 6. You can see from the graph 60 corresponds to 6. So 6 minus 0, because the y point which we have initial reading on the y-axis is 0. So 0 is the point on the origin and the graph is starting from origin. 0 will correspond to 0. So 6 minus 0, the answer will be 10 meter per second. Slope of AB. So AB means the graph which is coming down. So on y-axis, the downward reading will be the final reading and the upward reading will be the initial reading. We will subtract final minus initial. So if we take 60 and 0 again, 0 will be the final reading, 60 will be the initial reading. So 0 minus 60. The graph is coming and meeting at point 14 on the x-axis. So it means when the graph is coming down, when the y-axis, the y point is 0, it corresponds to 14 on the x-axis. So 0 corresponds to 14. You can see 0 minus 60. 2 points are 0 and 60. 0 corresponds to 14 and 60 corresponds to 60 will correspond to 6. So slope is 0 minus 60 or 14 minus 6. It comes out to be minus 7.5 meter per second. The slope is coming to be negative. Negative slope means the object is coming back to its starting point. The object is coming back to its initial position when the slope is coming out to be negative. Now there is an important note written over here. The displacement time graph can never be a straight line parallel to displacement time axis. They are trying to say that the graph can never be a line parallel to y-axis. Like if we draw a displacement time graph, on y-axis we are taking displacement, on x-axis we are taking time, on y-axis we are taking time. We cannot get a line like this parallel to displacement axis. We cannot get this line because when the time increases, this thing is possible. If we consider a line parallel to time axis, this thing is possible because time is increasing, displacement may be constant. Displacement can remain constant, means the object can remain stationary, but with the passage of time this is not possible because the time will not stop. The time will keep on increasing, and if the time is increasing, the points will not correspond to same time. So this thing is not possible. They have written over here because such a line would mean the distance covered by a body in certain direction increases without increase in time, which is not possible. So when object moves, obviously when a vehicle is moving from one point to another, there will be the passage of time. When you travel from one place to another, you cover your journey and some time is taken, so time will not stop at one point. So with the increase in time you cover some distance. It means this time will never be stationary, time will not stop or it will not be constant, so we cannot get a straight line parallel to y-axis. Next is third case. They have, what is the third case? When the object or the body moves with varying velocity, that is the variable velocity. The case of variable velocity which we are going to discuss now, there are some readings given over here, and from the help of this data we have plotted the graph. So after plotting the graph we get a curve. So from this curve, how we can get the velocity of the object? And one more thing, if the graph is a curve, not a straight line, it means the velocity is not uniform or constant. The object is changing its velocity, means the object has variable velocity. So how we can calculate the velocity in this case? We will consider one point on the curve. You can consider any one point on the curve. They have considered the point A. On this point A, they have drawn a tangent. Now what is a tangent? If you consider a curved line and consider one point on this curved line and draw a straight line passing through that point, that will be the tangent to the curve. That will be the tangent to the curve. So they have drawn one tangent to this curve by considering this point A. Now the tangent has two endpoints D and B. Now if we consider the point B, and when we join the y-axis with point B, we get 50, and when we join the other endpoint of the tangent D with y-axis, we get point 10. Now 50 corresponds to 7 and 10 corresponds to 3. So we have considered the endpoint of the tangents and we have determined the 2 points on x and y axis. That is B, that is the one end point of the tangent. B corresponds to 50 on y-axis and 7 on x-axis. D corresponds to 10 on y-axis and to 3 on the x-axis. So how we will calculate the slope now? The slope will be calculated by subtracting the two readings on the y-axis, that will be kept in the numerator, 50 minus 10, and the two readings on the x-axis, that is 50 corresponds to 7, 10 corresponds to 3. 7 minus 3, so we get 10 meter per second. So this is the velocity of the object at this particular point. In this case the velocity will not be uniform, so we will get the different values for the velocity if we consider the different points on the graph. So conclusion, some important conclusions in this graph. Displacement time graph of an object, when it is a straight line parallel to time axis, it means object is stationary. These are very important points which should be kept in mind. Second is graph straight line inclined to time axis, means motion is with uniform velocity. If graph is a curve, motion is with non-uniform or variable velocity. And if the slope of the line, if we calculate the slope of a straight line in the displacement time graph, it will give the velocity of the object. If slope is positive, it means the motion of the object is away from the origin. If the slope is negative, it means the motion is towards the origin or the object is coming back to its initial position. Next is velocity time graph. It is a graph in which the velocity is taken along y-axis, time is taken along x-axis. From this graph we can calculate two things, that is displacement and acceleration. How we can calculate the displacement? From velocity time graph we can calculate two things. First is displacement or distance. We can calculate displacement or distance by calculating the area under the graph, and acceleration can be calculated by calculating the slope of the graph. This thing you have to remember. You can rewind the video and again listen. Okay, determination of displacement from velocity time graph. So this is an example which they have considered, and from this example they have explained how we can calculate the displacement or distance from velocity time graph. So velocity is taken along y-axis, time is taken along x-axis. These are the positive readings of velocity, and below x-axis these are negative axis of the these are the negative readings of velocity. So you can see the graph is going up then coming down. how we can calculate the distance traveled by the object or displacement of the object in first 4 seconds. You can see over here first 4 seconds. These are the first 4 seconds. So we can calculate the distance covered by the object in first 4 seconds by calculating area under the graph. What is the graph in the first 4 seconds? This is the triangle ABC. So what we will do, we will calculate the area of this triangle ABC. So what is the formula to calculate the area of any triangle? Half into base into height. What we are calculating? We are calculating distance or displacement by calculating the area under the graph. And in this first 4 seconds, the graph is a triangle. So half into base into height. What is the base of this triangle? You can look over here. The base is this. That is 4 seconds. And what is the height of the triangle? Height is this, that is 5. So we will substitute the value. Half into 4 into 5, we get 10 meter. Next is the distance covered in 4 to 9 seconds. That is in next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 seconds. In next 5 seconds from 4 to 9 seconds, what is the distance covered? Again, we will calculate the area under the graph. Now this is the graph. The graph is CDEF. So we will calculate the area in this graph. So this is a trapezium. We will apply the formula for trapezium in this case. So to calculate the area, we will consider area of trapezium CDEF. So formula of trapezium is, area of trapezium is half into sum of parallel side into height. And what are the two parallel sides in this trapezium? These are the two parallel sides. DE is parallel to CF. So what is CF? 9 minus 4. 9 minus 4 will be 5. And what is DE? DE. E corresponds to 8. D corresponds to 5. 8 minus 5 will be 3. So we get 5 and 3. The two parallel sides are 5 and 3. Sum of the parallel sides 5 plus 3 multiplied by height. Height of the trapezium means distance between two parallel sides. So this is the height of the trapezium. When we take the distance between two parallel sides, that will be the height of the trapezium. So this is minus 5, but the height or distance is never taken to be negative. So we will write 5 instead of minus 5. So we can write over here 5 plus 3 into 5. We get 20. So this is how we will calculate the area of trapezium. In next part, in next portion of the graph, that is what will be the distance or displacement from 9 to 13 second. From 9 to 13 second, what will be the distance covered? For this, we have to calculate the area under this graph. Again, it is a trapezium FGHI. We will calculate the area of trapezium again by the same formula. Sum of two parallel sides. The two parallel sides will be 4 into multiplied by the height of the trapezium. Height is 5. You can check from this trapezium. We get 15 meter. This is how we will calculate the distance.